Hello YouTube, Sam here from youtube.com/onlivegamer for the new Boston. And in this tutorial, what we're going to do is add an event log for our game. So whenever something happens in the game, we're going to go ahead and log that to a list box in our case. Now you could incorporate a module into your program, but a list box was working fine. It works just as well, and it's easier to work with, so we're just going to go ahead and use that. So let's go ahead, we'll shrink this down a little bit first. Okay, so now that we got rid of some of that space there, let's go ahead, come over to our game GUI. We will add a new form. So we'll just select a Windows form, and instead of form2.vb, we'll just call it eventlog.vb. Go ahead and click add. Okay, so here is our event log. Now we can make it any size we want, but let's go ahead and make it the same width as our form 1. You'll see why we're going to do this later on. So we'll go ahead, come over here to size. We'll make this a little bit bigger. So it's 457 for the width. So we'll come over here to event log, and we will set the width to 457. And this looks like a good size. So what we're going to do is we'll come over here to our toolbox, and we will add a list box. Now we'll set the name to list events. And instead of dragging it out and trying to make it fit inside of the form, what we can do is just use the dock. So for dock, we will select the middle, which will fill up the entire form with our list box. Now let's come over here and let's change some stuff about it. So we don't want them to be able to minimize the box. We also don't want them to be able to maximize the box. So all they can do is close out of it. So let's go ahead and double click on this, and whenever it loads, let's just go ahead and type list events items add, and we'll just say event logger has successfully loaded. And then we'll just add some spaces after it. So list events items add, or let's not add spaces, let's add just a separator so that they can see where their events start. Okay, so it's going to load up and it's going to add this. And now what we want to do is let's just go ahead and create a sub that will allow somebody controlling an object of this class to add something to the list box. You can see here that we called it event log VB again. I don't know why I do that, but let's just go ahead and make this public so that it can be accessed outside of the class itself. So public, or let's make it, a sub, add event, and we will just do by val event as string. So they will pass an event to this. Now event is a keyword, so let's just go ahead and we'll call it string event. And we need to add an end sub there. So whenever somebody calls add event and passes a string to it, we just want to add that event to the list events. So list events items add and string event. So let's go ahead and we will come back into form1.vb, and you can see here that I made our event log look a little bit cooler. I made the background, the back color a black, you can see right there, and then I made the fore color a lime, just so it would look more like a sort of a command line log. So we'll come back here and let's find form1.vb. Okay, so whenever an attack has happened, what we want to do is add that to the log. So after the hero attacks, what we want to do is we want to create that event and then add it. So let's go ahead and we will create a private sub create event, and then we just need to by val name or string name as string. So this can be used to create events for either the enemy or Popeye based on the string, so that we don't have to create two different subs for this. So whenever Popeye attacks, we want to create an event. So we'll just type create event, and for the string we'll do hero dot name. We'll go ahead and put that in there. Now we just need to make it Popeye.name because we are accessing a constant. That's one of the things that I always forget to do. So whenever we create the event, what we want to do is type let's say, or we'll make it a function because we need to return an event that has happened. So as a string, so when that event is created, what we'll do is we will return, and then we will do string name, and then we will add some stuff to it. So we'll add a space, has used, and what we want to do is get the attack that they have used. So we'll do hero dot, and let's come over here and we'll go into Popeye. So we want to access this attacks right here at the index of let's see here, attack num. So we need to make attack num public so that we can see it. So we'll just do that. So whenever attack is called, it's going to be different. So come up here and we will say public attack num as integer. Okay, so now that we have attack num there, let's go ahead, come over here into form 1. So we'll type hero dot attacks at what index do we want to use? So we're accessing the array right now, and we want it at the index of let's see here, what was that called? Attack num. So at the index of attack num. And let's just close that inside some brackets. So here we can see exactly the attack that they used. And then we'll add for, and then let's do how much damage for blank damage. So once again we will enclose that in some brackets, and now what we need to do is we need to get the damage. So in order to do that, what we need to do is create an array inside of our Popeye class.